soon as I saw this key visual yesterday, I was just like, this is gorgeous. To the line work of the hair, to the lighting, to the color, to the way the reflection of the glasses are showing the main male lead, to the way the eyes are drawn, to the clothing, the way it's designed. Everything about this design, this key visual, is something that would instantly make me want to watch an anime. Like, even if I didn't get all the other information that came out along with this announcement yesterday, I 100% would just start the anime because of this key visual alone. Like, straight up, if I didn't know any better and I didn't, like, look into it really deeply, or, like, who's working on it, etc., I would just, at first glance, not really trying to analyze it, I'd be like, is KyoAni working on this? That would be my first impressions if I was just to look at the key visual alone with no other information. Nothing else I knew about, not even knowing the title, etc. I was like, is KyoAni working on this? Because it looks really good. Like, the key visual just legit speaks to me. I would start this anime just for this alone. Thankfully, we got a lot more information than that, so let's get right into it. So basically, this series is called The Girl I Like Forgot Her Glasses. I actually covered this, series when it got announced like a few months back on the channel already, but that was all we got, is that it got an anime announcement. We had nothing else to it, we just got an anime announcement. And now we fast forward to yesterday and now today, we got information of the staff, the studio, and an actual PV trailer that gives us kind of our first real look at what the show is going to look like. So, obviously, let's start with, the PV trailer we got. It's a very short trailer, 40 seconds, nothing too long, and obviously, just to be, transparent here, this is very early. Obviously, the series is, not finished probably yet, and they're still working on it, etc., and everything that we see in this PV trailer is probably not exactly what, the anime is going to completely look like when it comes out. But if we can take anything away from this PV trailer, if it can even look close to this, it's going to be a good-looking show. I mean, once again, I love the lighting. I love the background art that we see here. It really stands out. One big thing that I loved about this PV trailer is just the lighting. Like, look at this lighting for a second. Like, the way the window is, the lighting comes through, you see the shadows of the desk and stuff. And I know that this is a very simplistic scene, and we see these type of angles a lot within anime and manga, but when you see this extra attention to detail that you normally wouldn't see, like, you just see the individual characters of how they're drawn and all that, they don't look like smudges or whatever. You see the utensils on their desk, to different booklets and all that, the shadows underneath them, just everything about the way this one scene alone looks is really stellar. Like, I love this entire scene because it really demonstrates a lot of what you can expect maybe with how the show is going to look. Now, another little detail too is I like the eyes, the way the eyes are drawn within this trailer, because one thing that the series obviously is going to need to do very well is the eyes, because once again, the title, as you can see here, is The Girl I Like Forgot Her Glasses. So, clearly, the main female character, she's gonna be forgetting her glasses a lot, and we're gonna get to see her, like, have all, squinty eyes trying to figure out, like, what's being said or whatever, because she's trying to squint and see the paper. So, I do think that it's very fascinating just how, like, the eyes are drawn. I love the way they look. I love the coloring and all that. And once again, the lighting of the hair here, it's really nice. I think that this PV trailer does a really good job of anyone, just a casual watcher, just taking a look at this, would be like, man, this is a really good looking show. I mean, once again, background, to the way the ground is drawn, to the locker reflection, just this is hands down a really good looking anime. Once again, I want to restate it. This is early footage. Obviously, the show might not completely look like this, but if it can kind of capture these backgrounds, etc., this is going to be a good show. Straight up banger. That's exactly what it's going to be. So, let's get a little bit deeper. So, who is working on this series, etc.? So, basically, the series right here, this is, when it was announced, or, where it's at and all that. And here's the staff, the characters, etc. And if you look closely here, there is 2 directors that is working on this. Now, this could be a good or a bad thing, who really knows, but we were revealed this information when the PV trailer came out, and we got the staff as well, listed here. So we have a general director, which is, Susumu, and then we have a regular director, which is, Katsumasa. So that's our 2 directors. And then we have our script writer, which is, Tama Sukuri, and then we have our concept artist, which is Shingo. And then character design is, Takayuki, and then, chief animation director is Keiji. And then, we have the others right down here, like the main animators, or actually, there's multiple chief animation directors, as you can see here. Makoto and Takayuki as well. And then you have, the main animator, which is, Hiroshi. And then, obviously, we got the studio that's working on it, which is, GoHands. So, let's get all into this. Let's look at the staff, exactly what they've worked on. So, first things first, let's look at, Susumu and what he's worked on over the years, if he's a really good, director, or what kind of work he has under his belt. So, basically, this individual right here, he's worked on K, which is also by the same studio, GoHands as well, I believe so. As you can see here, K is, something that came out a very long time ago, actually, like 2012, man. I remember watching K when it was airing. It is crazy that it's been over a decade since the original K came out, and I love this show. I haven't went back to watch it in a very long time, so I don't know how well it's aged, I'll be honest with you, but at least when I was watching this, while it was airing, by the way, I loved K. I really liked the show. The colors and everything about it was great. I had literally no problem with K. And once again, I don't know how well it's aged, but at least from my impressions of it, thinking back on it, I loved it. And Gohan, which is, the one that's working on the new series, the girl I like forgot her glasses, they also worked on K. So, the director obviously has worked on projects with, Gohan quite a bit over the years. I mean, he's worked on Setokai Yakuindomo, Blood Plus, which, oh my goodness, Blood Plus. Okay, I'm going to go on a little bit of a tangent here. Blood Plus. He's worked on. He, did the storyboarding as well for Blood Plus, and which automatically speaks to me, because I love Blood Plus. This was a show that I remember watching when Netflix was brand new, and it was new as a streaming service, and I remember getting on there trying to watch any form of anime I could, and I was young, and I remember seeing Blood Plus on there, and I was like, yo, this is cool, and I was already liking, let's say, Vampire Knight and Rosario Vampire and all of that, reading the manga, and I saw Blood Plus, I'm like, oh, a vampire show. And I guess this is one of the big starts of why I fell in love with vampire shows or manga, because of Blood Plus. And once again, I haven't watched this in years. I don't know how well it's aged as well, but when I watched it, I loved every moment of it. I watched literally the 50 episodes it has in like 2 days. I enjoyed Blood Plus. So, the fact that, he worked on Blood Plus, that also is amazing news to me. I love that. Now, he's worked on, Shugo Chara, he's worked on, Magic Kaito, another really good show. I loved Magic Kaito. That was such a good anime. I mean, he's worked on, a bunch of stuff here, as you can see, Mardoc as well. I mean, he's worked on Soul Taker. I mean, the list goes on. You could just see. He's worked on quite a few things. He's definitely not necessarily a novice. He's an old school, director slash animator that's been working on anime for a long time, for decades now, as you can see. So, he's a pretty good fit. I see nothing wrong with this man actually directing a show. Now, we have Katsu Masa, which is the other director, and I want to pull him up here. He, did the key animation for episode 25 of Gurren Lagann, which I know a lot of people love Gurren Lagann. We have, Elfen Lied, which I love Elfen Lied, so, the fact that he worked on it as key animation for episode 12 speaks to me. I mean, he worked on, Maho Shoujo Madoka, episode 10, already looking very good. I mean, he worked on Monster, old school, to, Samurai Champloo. He's worked on NHK, which, I'm just gonna say, shout out to this man for working on such a legendary show. If you have never actually seen this show, I'm gonna do a brief shout out to this show, just like I just did Blood Plus. If you have never seen Welcome to the NHK, you really should watch it. I will hands down say this is a certified classic show that should be watched. It is good. Don't let this wacky image distract you from just how it's dark. That's all I'm going to say. It's a very dark series, has some very thought-provoking themes, and if you want something really good, you really should watch Welcome to the NHK. But okay, getting back onto the actual topic. So this man's worked on some legendary shows. Like, Setokai Yakuindomo. I know not everybody's gonna like that show. I liked it. I mean, he's worked on Gantz. I mean, he's worked on Shuffle, which, holy crap, I remember watching that in parts on YouTube. Yeah, I was that guy. I mean, he's worked on a lot. I mean, he even worked on Handshakers, as you can see here. So, he has some good and bad anime under his belt. He's not necessarily someone that's worked on, just good or just bad. He's a mixed bag. So it just really comes down to the overall work of, his partners. Everybody's, kind of helping him, etc. But, yeah, he's a pretty interesting director, so I don't think necessarily it's a bad decision to have these two kind of working on the show. Now, we move over into the sound director. So this person's, the one doing the music, etc. And overall, when I take a look at this, I mean, I think that overall, I've heard some of his music over the years, not like everything. I'm gonna keep it real here. The one I do recognize is To Be Hero. I did like the music in that, but obviously music comes down to subjective taste. I did like the music in To Be Hero, but besides that, I really haven't heard much else of this individual's music or sound direction, etc. So, I don't know. This one's a mystery to me. Now, moving over into the script and all that, so this is, the individual that's basically doing the script for it and all that. It's worked on, light novels and manga, etc., by a pretty good list, etc., so nothing too crazy here. But, yeah, so that is the staff. Now, obviously, the big one we need to get into is the studio. Who's working on it? GoHands. So, GoHands as a studio is, an interesting one. Because I think anyone that recognizes GoHands are going to recognize them for one series in particular. And that is Handshakers. This notorious or infamous anime that seemed to be good and then turned out to be absolutely garbage for a lot of people. This series in general, people did not like, Handshakers. They loved this show. Like, nobody liked the way Handshakers turned out, because just, there's a lot of problems people had. And there's a lot of people that's made videos on this topic, that's on YouTube, and discussion forums, you can find it for yourself. But the point is that Handshakers legitimately was not liked. And obviously, ever since this show came out, even though it's been a long time, basically, this is kind of stuck with the Studio GoHands, for years now, and I mean, I guess if the series does that bad, it's gonna stick with you. So, yeah, they obviously have something really bad under their belt, but once again, I want to point out that they've worked on the K series, and I like K. I haven't seen, every single K stuff they've made, I'll be honest with you, but I liked what they worked on when it came to K. I've seen, Setokai Yakuindomo. I like that show as well, so, I mean, I don't think they did really bad. I know Capellion wasn't necessarily a good show, but in terms of art and animation, I enjoyed Capellion when I watched it many, many years ago. They've had some good stuff, but nothing, too crazy. I mean, they've had some bad as well, so, I mean, overall, I'm just gonna say that, it just depends. I mean, I feel like the staff is strong, and I think that because of how strong the staff is, it's not necessarily going to be bad, because I know people want to instantly say it's the studio that causes a series to be bad, but it really comes down to the staff. It's like the staff that works on it decides if it will be good or not, and I think that the series is really in good hands with who is actually working on it. Now, besides that as well, we got, more, stuff revealed here as well, with, different staff and all that, as you could see, and, I mean, we even have, the music as well being made, so I don't know who this one is, so forgive me for that. I have no idea who this individual is, but, overall, I think that the series is legitimately in good hands. I think that it's going to be good. I know it's early on, but, just taking a look, once again, just even at the key visual, I think the series is going to be a banger. I mean, there's only two directions this is going to go. It's either going to become an absolute dumpster fire of an anime, or it's going to be an absolute banger of a show that's going to blow everybody's minds when it eventually does come out. Because if there is one thing that can be done very well or very wrong, is a good slice of life show. I think everybody can agree with that, because a good slice of life show can go very far. But a bad slice of life show, that is a stain on you for a long time. So, we'll see. But, yeah, I wanted to keep everybody in the know for, the girl I like forgot her glasses, because I said I would update all of you when more information came out. But, yeah, I guess I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. It does help me out a lot, and I would greatly appreciate it. And with that, be safe, stay healthy, Chibi out.